Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. WWE Monday Night Raw aired live from Madison Square Garden tonight. This is the last edition of Raw to air in the United States for many weeks, and it featured an epic main event. CM Punk and Seth Rollins, two of the very best wrestlers in the world, went at it for a second time this year. This time, the two went one-on-one in a steel cage match. Needless to say, they went to war. The pair put on a fantastic bout, but things went awry by the end. In a shocking moment, Roman Reigns made his return to World Wrestling Entertainment programming for the first time since the Royal Rumble. He proceeded to brutally lay out both men. While fans were thrilled to see the OTC back and return in such an exciting fashion, Roman Reigns will likely face consequences. These include consequences from management, foes, and even someone close to him. This article will examine 3 consequences for Roman following his brutal assault on Raw. Below are 3 consequences Roman Reigns could face for taking out Seth Rollins and CM Punk on WWE Raw. Adam Pearce is one of 3 established general managers in WWE. While Triple H is arguably the head honcho on screen, Adam Pearce runs Monday Night Raw, Nick Aldis leads Friday Night SmackDown, and Ava heads up NXT. When Roman Reigns brutally assaulted Seth Rollins, Adam Pearce rushed down to ringside to try to break things up. He was clearly both concerned about the status of the competitors in the match, but also angry at the former WWE champion for his interference. As the Raw general manager, Adam has the power to punish Roman Reigns for his behavior. For example, he could suspend the OTC for the attack, likely a move based on anger due to a celebrated main event being ruined. Alternatively, Adam could realize that Roman's limited schedule makes a suspension less effective than punishment. Instead, he could hit the tribal chief in the wallet by fining Roman Reigns a large but undisclosed sum for his actions. A very interesting moment took place during Roman Reigns' brutal onslaught on Seth Rollins during the closing minutes of WWE Monday Night Raw. The OTC spotted Paul Heyman in the ring. Paul Heyman is Roman Reigns' wiseman and always has the OTC's back. Yet, despite that, Heyman was in the ring checking on CM Punk on WWE Raw. When Roman Reigns spotted this, he absolutely snapped. The OTC went into the ring and proceeded to lay out CM Punk. He beat down the Second City Saint while Paul Heyman looked unterrified, unable to help his friend overcome the savage beating. While Paul Heyman has been fiercely loyal to Roman for a long time, his association with Reigns and the Bloodline may be over. Paul could potentially leave Reigns for CM Punk, reuniting the duo moving forward on television. The story of CM Punk and Seth Rollins goes back a long time. In some ways, it goes back before The Shield. In fact, it even goes further back than WWE. They two have had a complicated relationship for a long time. Since CM Punk returned to WWE at Survivor Series, their issues have escalated further and further. They either cut brutal promos on each other or engage in wild brawls on what feels like a weekly basis at this point. The point is, Seth and Punk truly hate each other. Yet now both the voice of the voiceless and the visionary have a common enemy. This could lead to a shocking moment nobody will see coming. Roman's consequences for his action could be a new union forming. Seth and Punk, both angry at Reigns' behavior, could become an unlikely duo and attack the OTC. Teaming up together, Punk and Rollins could teach Roman a lesson he'd never forget. On WWE Raw, Roman Reigns is a dominant force, arguably the face of the company. His reign as the Universal Champion has been marked by ruthlessness, intimidation, and the unrelenting presence of the tribal chief. But what happens when Roman Reigns takes things to a new level? When he crosses the line and takes out not just one, but 2 top-tier superstars like Seth Rollins and CM Punk in one fell swoop? There are bound to be consequences, some immediate, some far-reaching. Below are 3 potential consequences that could arise from Roman Reigns' actions. Roman Reigns, for all of his dominance, is not invincible. His actions may not go unchallenged. In fact, the aftermath of him taking out Seth Rollins and CM Punk would likely spark a furious backlash from the entire WWE locker room. As one of the most respected and beloved stars in the company, both Rollins and CM Punk have cultivated strong fan bases and connections with fellow WWE superstars. The brutal attack on them would inevitably result in retaliation from their allies. Seth Rollins' allies. Rollins has been a pillar in WWE for years, and many superstars have built strong friendships and rivalries with him over time. The likes of Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and even former Shield member Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley, could rally around him to take down the tribal chief. These men would likely have no tolerance for Reigns' actions, setting the stage for a faction or even a multi-man tag match with Roman Reigns and the Bloodline on one side and a team of angry superstars on the other. CM Punk's influence. Punk, despite his controversial departure from WWE, has a long list of allies who respect his wrestling knowledge and fighting spirit. His return to the company might have already re-established some connections with key figures like Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, and even independent stars such as Adam Cole or Johnny Gargano. A united front of these superstars could turn the tables on Reigns, leading to a massive faction war. Locker room clashes. Beyond individual rivalries, Roman's actions would ignite tensions within the locker room. Many superstars view Rollins and Punk as pillars of WWE, and any attack on them would be seen as a breach of unwritten rules of respect in the business. Reigns might find himself facing impromptu challenges from any number of wrestlers looking to get retribution for his bold move. Why this would be a major consequence? When Roman Reigns alienates both the fan base and fellow wrestlers by attacking two of WWE's biggest stars, he risks creating enemies everywhere. WWE's storyline is often about more than just one-on-one matches. It's about alliances, feuds, and group dynamics. The retribution from the locker room would not just be physical, but would also influence Reigns' future storylines and the overall structure of WWE. The WWE Authority, consisting of figures like Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, and even Vince McMahon, depending on the timeline, often interferes in major storylines when superstars cross the line. While Roman Reigns is given substantial freedom as the Universal Champion, the idea that he could attack two major superstars, one of whom, CM Punk, has a history of public disputes with WWE management, would likely draw serious concern from the higher-ups in the company. A suspension or fine. The WWE Authority, seeking to maintain order, might issue an immediate suspension or fine to Roman Reigns, especially if the attack was deemed excessive or outside the bounds of acceptable behavior. They could strip him of his title or force him to defend it against multiple challengers, making him pay for his actions in the ring. If the Authority wanted to send a message about the limits of power in WWE, this would be a perfect way to rein in Reigns. The return of Authority figures, Triple H as a former heel and one of WWE's top brass, could be the one to step in and challenge Reigns directly. Triple H might not take kindly to Reigns' kingpin mentality, and the corporate intervention could lead to a power struggle storyline where Roman is forced to answer for his actions. This could also spark a broader feud between Reigns and other Authority figures who challenge his behavior. Financial consequences. Taking out a talent like CM Punk, who has a large media following, could impact WWE's bottom line. CM Punk's presence in WWE would bring in major views and sponsorships, especially considering his crossover appeal in UFC and other media. The WWE's corporate interests may push them to suspend or fine Reigns to avoid further harming the company's relationship with outside partners. Why this would be a major consequence? WWE's leadership and the storyline of corporate control have been central to many memorable feuds and drama in wrestling. Roman Reigns' actions would provide the perfect scenario for the higher-ups to assert their authority and establish new rivalries or even storylines involving power struggles behind the scenes. This dynamic could elevate the drama in WWE even further and shift Reigns' character arc from simply a dominant champion to one under constant scrutiny. One of the most significant long-term consequences Roman Reigns could face after attacking Seth Rollins and CM Punk is a drastic shift in fan perception. While Reigns has enjoyed incredible success as a heel and the tribal chief, His attack on these two major figures could push him further down the path of anti-hero or even fan-favorite territory. Fan backlash and unexpected sympathy. WWE fans might start to view Roman Reigns in a new light. Though he has been a heel, many fans have always respected his in-ring abilities and charisma. If they see him taking out two established stars in brutal fashion, some fans may start to sympathize with him, even if he's the bad guy. This could lead to a growing faction of fans who view him as a misunderstood champion, someone who does whatever it takes to maintain his place at the top. The possibility of a face turn. Should the WWE creative team want to evolve Reigns' character, they might slowly begin to turn him into a reluctant face, good guy in the eyes of the audience. This would be a fascinating reversal, especially if WWE decides to paint his actions as those of someone who is simply protecting his legacy and place in history. While Reigns' actions might seem villainous at first, WWE might frame it as part of his journey to face new challenges, potentially leading to a storyline where he stands against the very company that created him. Feuds with both Rollins and Punk. Reigns' attack would inevitably set the stage for his battles with both Seth Rollins and CM Punk. If he can maintain his heel persona, these feuds would be intense, full of passion and violence. However, the longer he stays in these conflicts, the more likely it is that fans might start rooting for him, especially if Rollins and Punk get too involved in corporate politics or become too focused on their own personal vendettas. Why this would be a major consequence. Roman Reigns, as a top star in WWE, is always under scrutiny by the fans. If his actions alienate too many people, WWE might pivot the narrative to reframe him as a sympathetic figure, setting the stage for his eventual babyface, good guy turn. It could breathe new life into his character and expand his storyline possibilities. Roman Reigns attacking Seth Rollins and CM Punk would create ripples that could alter the entire landscape of WWE programming. Whether it's through locker room retribution, authority intervention, or a change in fan perception, the consequences of such an action would reach far beyond a single episode of Raw. Reigns may be the tribal chief, but even kings must face the consequences of their actions. The true question remains, will Roman be able to maintain his position at the top, or will these consequences mark the beginning of his downfall? Only time will tell.